Christina McCarthy, President and CEO of Paycore Minerals. Its ticker is CORE, C-O-R-E, on the venture. We just went public only 2 months ago, so pretty fresh out the gate. The asset's located in Nevada, USA, on one of the most prolific gold mining belts in the world. Nevada is one of the best places to mine in the world. Big mines are discovered in Nevada. This particular project, it's polymetallic, it's high grade, and there's an existing resource of about 3.9 million tons. Those are short tons, so it's about at probably around 13.6 grams gold equivalent when you work it out. And the project is got an existing resource that's been, again, unmined and undrilled for about 50 years. So we were able to acquire a project that was just sitting there ready to be drilled again. And so we are the first company to drill it in over 50 years. It's got an existing shaft down to a depth that goes right into the existing ore body, and then we have a near surface target which is oxide potential. So exciting to be able to have two opportunities with this project, and we're just the first company to start drilling, and we just back in December raised 12 million US. We have about 6.2 million US in the bank now, and we'll just continue to drill. We had a great hit last week. It was only the 6th hole that we've announced, and it hit 25 meters of just around 11.5 grams gold equivalent. And that was right in the middle of where we knew that the existing body is. And so it's pretty exciting because so far we have drilled, again, only 6 holes, first 6 holes in over 50 years. And we've been able to prove the lateral continuity of the deposit. So, there was this existing 3.9 million tons of 13.6 grams gold equivalent just sitting there, and we've since stepped out about 200 meters and proved that this is a lot bigger than what was originally there. So the underground component is exciting because we're, again, the first company to be drilling this in over 50 years. And a lot of the holes that were drilled in the deposit were mainly drilled from the underground. And that was because this was drilled back in the 40s and 50s, and then the shaft was sunk, and there was only 2 years of mining from 1956 to 1958. And the mine was then shut down because the miners hit a fault and it flooded the mine. Well, in the 50s, they didn't have the technology to dewater at a fast pace. And because of that, they left it, abandoned the mine, and it was never developed again. So they've just left this deposit sitting there near surface. There was about 1.3 million ounces, 0.9 ounces per ton gold, and then another 38 million ounces silver at 21 ounces per ton mined, all in the Ruby Hill complex. This is the original Ruby Hill mine that we have here, and so there's been a lot of development in this area, and you can see actually from Google Earth the workings in this area. And from this particular target, it's an oxide target. We have only drilled 1 hole in the oxide target. It's the only hole that's been drilled on this in decades. And it also hit, within the first 110 meters from surface, it hit 28 meters of 5.3 or 4.5 grams, and then another 24 meters of 5.3 grams gold equivalents. So that's a pretty phenomenal hole just from surface when you look at the potential to open pit that or to, develop a near surface target. The catalyst upcoming we're going to just keep on drilling deposit so that we can work towards getting a resource out. We might be able to use some of the old drilling that we had found back from, again, decades ago that was just discovered in one of the old buildings. And so, using some of that old data and the drilling that we have now, just continue to put out results to work towards that 43-101, that resource estimate that, that will then give the market conviction of this deposit. And then we'll continue to add to the team. We've got a great team as it stands. Jim Gowans, he's our chairman. He joined, he was president and CEO of Arizona Mining and sold it to the company to South 32 for 1.65 billion. So phenomenal deposit, zinc and lead, also base metals. So when we showed this to him, he was like, "Where do I sign up?" and joined us the chairman. So great to have him. We have Ewan Downey, who's been an advisor to us, and then John Begeman, who's also on the board of Yamana and I-80 Gold. A lot of synergies with I-80 next door, and so I think that given the working relationship that we have a great team to do that, and we'll continue to build out that team. So look for some additions to the team in the near future as well. The outlook for Paycore, I would say over the next year, 2 years plus. I think we continue to drill this deposit and increase the size. Right now, the mineralized footprint is about 1.5 kilometers by 1.5 kilometers. There's a lot of synergies with our partners next door. I-80 has been making a lot of noise in the market lately, and they own 6% of our company. They're right now drilling with a few, I think 4 drills over at Ruby Hill, and they've put out some phenomenal results. There's a lot of synergies with the base metal target that they have, and that they're looking to reorg their operations over there in the next 5 to 6 years, and develop a base metal operations over there. So that will be really synergistic for our company long term. But I think right now we just continue to develop the underground resource, and then look at potentially growing the near surface target. And it's good that we are able to be sort of nimble in, seemingly poor market conditions where, a more capital intensive deep target, we can switch some focus to a near surface target. So trying to make sure that we're smart with capital while doing, the day-to-day and growing the project. I think for the junior market in general, you're going to see there's a lot of interesting projects right now coming out on the market, and with higher gold prices, something that wasn't so economic before is now becoming more economic, and with higher gold prices, obviously inflation's a big factor, and that costs are going up everywhere. Drilling costs have just increased a lot over the last few months even. But I think that within new technologies coming out, AI and other recoveries technologies that are coming out, I think that we're going to see a lot of these deposits that were previously left alone for quite many years. We might see some of these resurface and in better markets and higher metal prices.